Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Listening Moment. Today's episode is about something we all enjoy, cooking a favorite meal. This is not just about food. This is about comfort, confidence, and connection. It is about doing something familiar in a language that might still feel new to you. When you cook your favorite meal, you are in control. You know the steps. You know the ingredients. You know how it should taste at the end. This same confidence can help you with English. When you speak about things you know well, your words flow more easily. Your fear becomes smaller. Your voice becomes stronger. So today we will talk about cooking, but we will also talk about confidence, practice, and the joy of doing something well. Many English learners feel nervous when they speak. They worry about grammar, they worry about pronunciation, they worry that people will judge them. But here is something interesting. When you talk about your favorite meal, something changes. Your eyes light up. Your hands move as you describe the process. You forget to be nervous because you are focused on something you love. This is the power of familiar topics. They give you confidence. They make speaking feel natural instead of scary. Cooking your favorite meal is one of these topics. Everyone has a dish that means something special to them. Maybe it's something your grandmother taught you. Maybe it is something you discovered when you lived in another city. Maybe it is simple food that reminds you of home. Whatever it is, that meal carries memories. It carries emotions. And when you talk about it, you are not just practicing English, you are sharing a part of yourself. Let me tell you why cooking is such a good topic for English practice. First, cooking has clear steps. You can describe a process from beginning to end. You start with ingredients, you prepare them, you cook them, you serve them. Each step uses different vocabulary. Each step gives you a chance to practice verbs, adjectives, and simple instructions. Second, cooking is something everyone understands. You do not need special knowledge. You do not need technical words. Even if someone has never made your favorite dish, they can imagine it. They can picture the kitchen. They can almost taste the food as you describe it. This makes conversation easy and natural. Third, cooking gives you confidence because you are the expert. When you talk about your favorite meal, you know more than most people. You know the secret ingredients. You know the small tricks that make it perfect. You know what happens if you cook it too long or not long enough. This knowledge makes you feel strong, and when you feel strong, speaking English becomes easier. Now let us think about the actual process of cooking your favorite meal. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your kitchen. What does it look like when you are about to cook? Maybe the counter is clean and ready. Maybe you have all your ingredients lined up in small bowls. Maybe you have music playing in the background. Maybe the window is open and fresh air is coming in. This moment before you start cooking is special. It is calm. It is full of possibility. You know exactly what you are going to do. There is no confusion. There is no fear. You have done this many times before. Your hands know the movements. Your mind knows the order. Everything feels comfortable and right. This is the same feeling we want when we speak English. We want to feel comfortable. We want to feel ready. We want to know that even if we make a small mistake, we can continue without panic. When you begin cooking, you start with preparation. You wash the vegetables, you chop the onions, you measure the spices, you heat the pan. Each action is simple, but each action matters. If you skip a step, the meal might not turn out well. If you rush, you might cut yourself or burn something. So you move with care. You move with attention. You move at your own pace. Speaking English is exactly the same. You do not need to rush. You do not need to say everything perfectly the first time. You need to move with care and attention. You need to give yourself permission to go slowly. When you prepare your ingredients, you are not thinking about the final taste yet. You are just focused on the task in front of you. Cut the tomatoes, peel the garlic, rinse the rice. These small actions build towards something bigger. In English, small actions also build toward fluency. Each word you say, each sentence you complete, each conversation you have. They all add up. You might not see progress every single day, but over time, the change is real. Now the cooking begins. You add oil to the pan. You wait for it to heat. You listen for the sizzle when the onions go in. You smell the garlic as it turns golden. You watch the colors change. You stir gently so nothing sticks. You taste and adjust. Maybe you add more salt. Maybe you add a little water. Maybe you turn the heat lower. You are not following a script. You are responding to what you see, smell, and taste. This is intuition. This is experience. This is what happens when you have made the same dish many times. You do not need to think about every detail. Your body knows what to do. And this is what fluency feels like in English. It feels like intuition. It feels like your mouth knows where to go next. You stop translating in your head. You stop searching for perfect grammar. You just speak. You respond. You adjust. You continue. When you cook your favorite meal, you are not afraid of making it. You trust yourself. And this is the trust we need to build in English too. When the meal is almost ready, you start to think about presentation. How will you serve it? Will you use a big plate or a small bowl? Will you add a garnish? Will you sprinkle fresh herbs on top? These details do not change the taste, but they show care. They show respect for the food and for the people who will eat it. In English, presentation also matters. It is not about being fancy. It is about showing that you care. When you speak clearly, when you look at the person you are talking to, when you smile or nod, when you take a breath before answering, these small things make a difference. They show confidence. They show respect. They make communication feel warm and human. You do not need perfect grammar to show care. You just need presence and effort. Finally, the meal is ready. You turn off the heat. You taste one last time. It is perfect. It tastes exactly the way you want it. You feel proud. You feel satisfied. You worked with your hands. You created something from simple ingredients. You turned raw vegetables, spices, and heat into something delicious. This is a small victory, but it is real. And every time you cook this meal, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You can start with nothing and create something good. This same truth applies to English. Every time you have a conversation, every time you finish a sentence, every time you make yourself understood, you are proving that you can do it. You are building evidence of your ability. You are becoming more confident one word at a time. Now imagine sharing this meal with someone. Maybe it is a friend who has never tasted it before. Maybe it is a family member who loves it as much as you do. Maybe it is a neighbor you invited over. As you serve the food, you explain what it is. You tell them how you made it. You share the story behind it. Maybe you learned this recipe from your mother. Maybe you invented it yourself one rainy afternoon. Maybe it is a traditional dish from your country. Whatever the story is, it connects you to the person across the table. Food is more than nutrition. Food is culture. Food is memory. Food is love. And when you share your favorite meal, you are sharing a piece of your life. This is what happens when we use English too. We are not just exchanging information, we are connecting. We are building relationships. We are showing people who we are. Cooking your favorite meal teaches you something important. It teaches you that you do not need to be perfect to create something valuable. Your meal does not have to look like a photograph. It does not have to match a restaurant dish. It just has to taste good to you. It just has to make you happy. In the same way, your English does not need to be perfect. It does not need to sound like a movie. It does not need to impress everyone. It just needs to communicate your ideas. It just needs to connect you with others. When you stop chasing perfection, you start enjoying the process. You start experimenting. You start taking risks, and that's when real growth happens. Some days your meal turns out better than others. Maybe you added too much salt. Maybe the rice was a little dry. Maybe the sauce was too thick. But you still ate it. You still enjoyed it. You still felt good about trying. The same thing happens with English. Some days you speak better than others. Some days the words come easily. Some days you struggle to find the right expression. But you keep trying, you keep speaking, you keep learning, and slowly, over time, you get better. Not because you are perfect, but because you are consistent, because you show up, because you do not let fear stop you. Here's the truth that many learners forget. Confidence does not come from knowing everything. Confidence comes from accepting that you do not know everything and speaking anyway. When you cook your favorite meal, you are confident because you have done it before. You have made mistakes, you have learned, you have adjusted, and now you trust yourself. The same process works for English. You will make mistakes, you will forget words, you will mispronounce things, but if you keep speaking, you will learn. If you keep practicing, you will improve. And one day, speaking English will feel as natural as cooking your favorite meal. So I want to encourage you today. Find something you love to talk about. It could be cooking, it could be sports, it could be music or travel or gardening. Whatever it is, use that topic to practice English. Talk about it with friends. Write about it in a journal. Record yourself describing it. When you speak about things you care about, English stops feeling like a test. It starts feeling like a tool to share your thoughts, a tool to connect with the world, a tool to express who you are. Your favorite meal is more than food. It is confidence on a plate. It is proof that you can create something good. And every time you speak English, you are doing the same thing. You are creating communication. You are building connections. You are becoming stronger. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of English Listening Moment. Remember, you do not need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Keep cooking. Keep speaking. Keep believing in yourself. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.